I'm okay. I'm not okay, but that's okay. I guess this is about dealing with disappointment and also, yeah, like I've mentioned before, uh, setting goals or activities or things that are going to help you alleviate things going on in your mind, or to process stuff or to deal with stuff. And then if you rely on this, when these things don't actually happen, they leave you in a vulnerable position. So what position am I in? I just come back from the tattooist um, without a tattoo. Days of preparing, making plans and sorting stuff, organizing time off work, preparing, shaving my legs, or preparing myself mentally, being aware that this is going to stir up a lot of stuff. Can't help but think about what this is going to stir up and what we can, you know, optimize our processing through this pain experience, ending in a relatable form of art that is really significant to me. Unfortunately, going from paper to skin doesn't always work out. And even though the tattoo artist herself originally didn't see a problem arising with it once it was stenciled on there, it wasn't working. You know, we tried many things, not gonna work. And there was a saying that I said that really cracked her up, made her laugh. And I mean, it is funny, but it's also very true. The original saying is, sex is like a fart. If you have to force it, it's gonna be shit. You know, this made her laugh, lighten the mood. And you know, we then sat down and you know, talked about it, got into it, why I came there in the first place, you know, that I was attracted by art, and the original purpose was to help cover and finish off one of my first tattoos. But then, you know, the guilt of covering up a part of a tattoo that was done by a friend, you know, I've lost contact with this person. That's why I was trying to find someone else. But yeah, I can't do that, you know. Like, okay, he put the tattoo on there without asking that particular part, you know, just did it by himself. It's not cool, but at the same time, you know, you have to. Yeah, it's not just mine. Okay, I wear it, I carry it, but it's not just mine. So I will just have to try and track this guy down. Yeah, might take another 10 years, whatever. This particular piece really spoke to me of her work, and so we were gonna put it on my leg, but it just doesn't work, and none of her other artwork really speaks to me, you know. And I didn't want to just get a tattoo now because I'm prepared to just get a tattoo. Like, that's not how it, you know, that's not how it works. That's how you end up with stuff for the rest of your life that you're not entirely happy with, which is kind of what I've got going on my chest at the moment, to be honest. And this has also stirred up another source of disappointment, you know, with that. But I'm getting sidetracked. The main point that I'm trying to make here is that I set myself up to deal with a lot of shit getting stirred up today emotionally through this process, and now there's no outlet for it. And you know, I had to really, you know, control myself there, do breathing. I mean, you know, there was four other people in the shop, you know, and this girl is an artist who is also dealing with her own frustrations and whatever, and disappointment as well. And you know, I could sense that, so I felt, you know, quite obligated to make sure that I don't show my actual state to keep it upbeat. You know, I made cups of tea and sat and talked, and then came up with an idea that, well, why doesn't she just print the artwork out for me, and she keeps the deposit money that I put down, and she just sends me the print, and I can have it with me, I can frame it, and it can be a piece of art that I then have. She was happy with this, and you know, it's better than leaving with nothing, but I'm getting sidetracked. Then I'm in a part of Berlin, Neukölln. I get very mixed, you know, energies from this place. And then the train, and tube of anxiety or what. And I had a minor, that quick come and gone projection or hallucination. I wouldn't say it was hallucination. It was a projection from the energy that I could sense, and you know, my mind created a spirit or a being, just quick. You know, I'm sitting there on the train, and another person next to me, and person, and people all standing there, got the headphones on. I'm breathing through it. I'm just looking out the window, and some loud noise from behind makes me turn, but all I can see is people. And just as I came back, there was like another being, another person, you know, and I wasn't prepared. I wasn't keeping myself completely aware, and just like, you know, just a quick shock, you know, kind of like a this, you know. And I mean, the person next to me was looking out the window, so they didn't notice, but the old lady and guy opposite me definitely noticed, and that sort of threw them a little bit off. But I just smile and go to looking back out the window. But now I feel like they're now watching to see if something else weird happens, and this just makes you feel awkward. So you do this awkward thing of, I'm just gonna look out the window. I'm just gonna look out the window. You can't really do deep breathing on a train without freaking people out. So I'm doing like just enough deep breathing, you know. If you really need a deep breathe in public, I find a pretend yawn is always good. No, and then so off that train, walking through the people, down through the alleyways, into the subway, and I mean, it's getting colder now. It's below zero these days now, and that means more homeless people and more struggling people are hanging out in the subways. As they should. I don't want them freezing on the street. I don't want them hiding in the forests, you know, like going on in Hungary, you know, people freezing to death in the forest because it's illegal to be homeless. Sidetrack. And then come back home, and gotta find ways of dealing with this. To be honest, I am going to escape for a few hours, not because I'm lazy and not because I don't want to deal with it, but because it is Ruhezeit. Ruhezeit is between either 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock or 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. It's a time of day where you're not allowed to make loud noises. You're not allowed to do any construction, private, like, you know, personal construction work. If you're working in a business, you're allowed to, but not in personal apartments and stuff. And what I want to do is punch my punching bag, just to expel as much quick energy as possible. Like I said, I got a foot injury, so you know, you can't like go running, and it's freezing anyway, so I'm not going to ride my bicycle. And so I have a punching bag that I can just like just to get it out, but that makes quite a fair bit of noise, and I'm a good neighbor. Uh, so how do I avoid um, watching TV series or a movie or YouTube? This is not healthy, but if it works and it gets me through the next hour to the point where I can expel this energy, then it's healthy. I have used it way too much in my life. I didn't know I was using it like this in my life. I grew up on television. It was the only times in my life where allow my mind to relax and it doesn't run rings around itself. The most relaxed I ever am is watching something. That's it's the most relaxed I ever get. It's distraction. But right now, I think that's the best thing to do. Last note, I am I am obviously not okay, but I am okay. There is nothing wrong with this. This is just it's not good, bad, it's just the way that it is right now. That's the reality. That's I got to deal with that reality. That's my responsibility, and I should be very proud of myself. I went out. I put myself in that position. I did that. I stayed upbeat. She was left smiling and happy and okay. Has to deal with her own disappointment of not getting a big payday and not being able to perform her artwork as she wanted to. But she was still smiling and I believe genuinely smiling, and I dealt with that public situation very well. I was on the street in a very crazy part of town, and that was fine. I dealt with public transport and there was a big police presence because I don't know why. I think someone killed themselves on the train earlier. Um, and I dealt with all that well. So I I am I am proud of myself. Frustrated, annoyed, depressed, on edge, having difficulty processing, but proud of myself.
It's over.